"We are not for sale," Greenland tells Trump. Greenland has said it is not for sale after President Donald Trump stated that he would like the U.S. to buy the world's biggest island. The president is said to have discussed the idea of purchasing Greenland, an autonomous Danish territory, during dinners and meetings with advisors. But Greenland's government dismissed the idea, saying, "We're open for business, not for sale." Mr. Trump's plans have also been quickly dismissed by politicians in Denmark. "It must be an April Fool's Day joke, but totally out of season," tweeted former Prime Minister Lars Lokke Rasmussen. The Wall Street Journal (WSJ), which first reported the news, said Mr. Trump had spoken about the purchase with varying degrees of seriousness. Sources quoted in other media differed over whether the president was joking or seriously hoping to expand U.S. territory. How has Greenland reacted? Officials in Greenland have insisted that the island is not on the market. Greenland is rich in valuable resources such as minerals, the purest water and ice, fish stocks, seafood, renewable energy, and is a new frontier for adventure tourism. "We're open for business, not for sale," the foreign ministry said in a statement shared on social media. Greenland Premier Kim Kielsen repeated the comments in a separate statement. Greenland is not for sale, but Greenland is open for trade and cooperation with other countries. Greenland MP Arja Chemnitz Larsen was also among those to dismiss the president's interest. "No thanks to Trump buying Greenland," she wrote on Twitter, adding that a better and more equal partnership with Denmark was the way forward. Poul Krarup, editor-in-chief of Greenland's Sermitsiaq newspaper, told the BBC he couldn't believe Mr. Trump's remarks. "Greenland is an independent area in the Danish kingdom and must be respected as such," he said. But he said he thought the chances of Mr. Trump's reported ambitions being realized were unlikely. "We'd like to cooperate with the U.S., no doubt about that, but we're independent and we decide who our friends are." Where is Greenland? Greenland is the largest island in the world, after Australia, which is defined as a continent in its own right. It is an autonomous Danish territory. It has a population of about 56,000 people concentrated around the coastline. Almost 90% are indigenous Greenlandic Inuit people. It has a limited self-government and its own parliament. More than 80% of the island is covered by an ice cap which is feared to be melting due to global warming. The ice melt has increased access to the island's mineral resources. But it's also believed that the receding ice may expose toxic nuclear waste that was left at several U.S. military sites during the Cold War. Can countries buy territories? Historically, countries have acquired territory not only through military conquest but also financial deals. Under the 1803 Louisiana Purchase, the U.S. acquired about 827,000 square miles (2.1 meters square kilometer) of land from France for $15 million, £12.3 million. In 1867, the U.S. reached a deal with Russia to purchase Alaska for $7.2 million. The U.S. later purchased the Danish West Indies in 1917 and renamed them the U.S. Virgin Islands. However, Duke University law professor Joseph Blocher told the BBC that the practice has basically dried up. "I think in part because nations can often get what they want without expanding their sovereign territory, and also because people can't just be bartered around like chattel anymore," said Professor Blocher. An outright sale would have to be approved by the United States, Denmark, and the people of Greenland, and the odds of that seem vanishingly small, he added. Has the U.S. ever tried to buy Greenland before? The idea of purchasing Greenland was first mooted during the 1860s under the presidency of Andrew Johnson. In 1867, a report by the U.S. State Department suggested that Greenland's strategic location, along with its abundance of resources, made it an ideal acquisition. But no official move was made until 1946, when Harry Truman offered Denmark $100 million for the territory. He had earlier toyed with the idea of swapping land in Alaska for strategic parts of Greenland, according to App.